Alright, what's been going on, everybody? Anime Rainbow back with another episode. Today we'll be discussing Kaiju number 8, chapter 55. What is going on? Well, if you remember, the big climax of the end of last chapter is where we saw Kafka not being able to revert part of his body, specifically his hand, back to human form. And I gave a lot of criticism to that because I found it odd that there was no form of, scientific experiments that were being run on him. But, lo and behold, this chapter I spoke too soon, so we are going to dive into that more. There are timestamps in the description if you want to jump ahead, but let's dive right into it because I have a lot to say for what's going on with Kaiju number 10 at the end of this chapter. So where we begin is where we have the Kaiju corpse disposal team basically cleaning up the aftermath of what has happened with the whole war against Kaiju number 9. And we get a lot of information, we get a lot of development in regards to where the mentality is of the civilians. With the death of Isao Shinomiya, a lot of people are fearful of a retaliation for Kaiju number 9, right? I don't think that they know that Kaiju number 9 has the Director General's body, but they know that he fell during the battle. So people are already leaving the country in anticipation of another attack. So that's on the civilian end of how they're dealing with everything that has happened with Kaiju number 9. On the Defense Force end, you get a much more aggressive approach to everything, right? Because you get the panels of Kikoru and Shinonomi sparring. And of course you have Captain Narumi, he's overseeing the sparring and everything because if you remember from last chapter, he had promised to make Kikoru second to only him in strength. So those are pretty big shoes to fill, and on top of that, she has the responsibility to pass all of the previous platoon leaders and current platoon leaders that are there currently. Keep in mind, all of the platoon leaders have it in them to become captains of a division at some point in the future. So these are really big shoes that she has to fill, and on top of that, there is a time crunch. He only gives her 1 month to do this. So that's problem number one, but it's really not a problem. It's strength that she needs given her goals that she has for her, right? She wants to avenge her father. In order to do that, she has to be on the same level as Captain Narumi, and she has to be on the same level as Kafka moving forward. I don't think it's a stretch to say that out of the three of them, at the current level that they're at, she's the weakest, especially with her axe being destroyed. The second big problem of this chapter is, well, not really a problem, but we finally get information about Kafka, right? We get confirmation that the Defense Force knows that Kafka cannot transform back from his previous state. So now that Captain Arumi has given his orders to Kikoru, he has his own duties that he has to fulfill as, I guess, the acting Director General until they get somebody else to step into that role, right? As the strongest, he has to fill those shoes, but it just doesn't seem like he's going to be the permanent person to fill that seat. But EG rolls up in this whole situation. He puts his boot to Narumi's back and was like, look, you still got a duty that you have to do, and you got to be a little bit more responsible because the Director General is not here to breathe down your neck, but luckily you still have me, and I will continue to give you nerve damage each and every time you want to do something stupid like play a video game instead of tending to your responsibilities. And in this case, his responsibility is deciding what to do with Kaiju number 8. I talked about this last video, right? The only thing that was protecting him was Isao. So now that he is gone, his protection is falling all on the shoulders of Captain Arumi, and you would hope that with what they have shown in terms of growth and respect for one another, having battled clones and handled the ant kaijus and everything that went down with Isao Shinomiya, that he would come around to allowing Kafka to stay in the Defense Force. And we kind of get that. We get a little bit of that, but none of that really matters because when the report comes in that Kafka can't 100% transform back into a human, of course everything that you would assume races through everybody's mind. This is a progressive thing. Possibly there might be a point in time when he can't transform back into a human, so they can't risk it, right? But what do you do? Because if you don't allow him to stay in the Defense Force, then you have to eliminate him. You can't allow him to go back to civilian life because he's not a civilian. So if Narumi did not allow for Kafka to remain in the Defense Force and ask personally for his help, right? I don't think it's something psychological. I think it's something that's progressive. Every time that you transform, you lose a little piece of yourself. And so when you factor this in already to the distrust that the other leaders of the Defense Force already had during the initial discussion on whether or not to allow Kafka to remain in the Defense Force and use him as a biological weapon, or whether or not to just turn him into, a standard manufactured numbers weapon. It was the Director General's, pull of rank that allowed him to live. So Narumi in this moment is like, look, this is something that is completely selfish, but lend me your strength because only we know the pain that we felt and the true severity of the situation that unfolded with Kaiju number 9, okay? In this moment right here, this is all I need from you, okay? I just need your strength. We're gonna take down Kaiju number 9. Kafka's on board with it, Kikoru's on board with it, like, and it seems like everything's gonna go down in 1 month. Okay, 1 month. That's as long as Narumi has given Kikoru, because I think that's when the counter strike is gonna occur. I'm sure other people in the community also have this, same, thought process. I also think that's as long as it's going to take for Kaiju number 10 to fully regenerate, which is, a terrible segue into the next topic that I want to talk about. But like, my God, thank God, Kaiju number 10 is back, right? And I can't remember if I made a video on this in the past, but I don't ever think I predicted we would get information from Kaiju number 10, because I always thought he was destroyed or would have immediately have been made into a numbered weapon for Captain Hoshina. But no, he's been in this little incubator thing. He's been regenerating from a head, I assume, because he's just a head and a spine at this point. So yeah, that blast got him pretty good. I don't know where they're keeping him. Maybe he is at the maritime base that they're currently at right now, but we don't know where Captain Hoshina went during this whole exchange. If we're being honest, he still might be back at the Tachikawa base and just chilling there in an incubator while repairs are being made. But we might be getting some serious information about what Kaijus are, where they come from, and what the mission is. Kaiju number 10 definitely likes to talk. I don't see him holding back information. And when this is all said and done, I think it'd be pretty dope if he was to get a numbered weapon for Kaiju number 10. On the flip side, there comes a lot of risk with letting Kaiju number 10 regenerate fully. What if Kaiju number 10, after regenerating fully, was broken out and joined forces with Kaiju number 9? Well, that's a 1-2 punch I don't think anybody would want to see, but that's another way to bolster Kaiju number 9's offenses. And this goes back to early chapters of Kaiju number 10. Kaiju number 9, when first confronted with Kaiju number 8, he was aware of other Kaiju that would be on Earth. He was just shocked that there would be another Kaiju interfering with what it was that he was trying to do. Remember that whole altercation in that exchange? There is awareness amongst the Kaijus that are on Earth in Japan that they're there. It's just a matter of how much of a threat Kaiju number 9 now thinks of Kaiju number 8. If this is a situation he feels he can handle by himself, I think he's going to go out swinging. If not, I think he might make a run for Kaiju number 10. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got for you today. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. Lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on in this chapter, how you think the future is going to proceed. What do you think of this 1 month time frame that is going down? If Kaiju number 9 is going to be attempted to have been got in a month time, what does that say for the series? But all of that is speculation. I am here for numbered weapon 10 for Captain Hoshina, Vice Captain Hoshina, my bad. Don't worry, Captain Mina, you still there. Subscribe if you're brand new, and like always, until next time, I'm out.